when she gets good.
She will. But right now, the guy to beat is Mike Wheeler. Hands down. I don't care who you are. Blaine Corey. We know how fast that 94 car is. I mean, Mike has just been the class of the field. And that's a compliment to him. That's not putting anybody else down. Because that field of sprint cars, that's good quality sprint cars right there.
Well, you know that 48 car is not a slouch.
I was just getting ready to say, Enrique Jaime.
Yes, sir.
He's fast. You know, you got the Hibbard boys, Dave and Bailey. You've got Blaine Corey, Anissa Curtis, Dave Marble in the 4M.
Yep.
I mean, we've got guys there that are...
There's no slouches in the whole bunch.
There's not, and they're all good drivers. So to win one, let alone 4 straight, it kind of says we've got this car figured out. And they've done it on the slick, and they've done it on the hooked-up track. You know, their setup game is on point.
But you know the way it goes on any given day.
That's it. That is absolutely it. Well, and let's talk about any given day, because coming into last Saturday night, we had a driver with 4 consecutive feature wins looking for win number 5 in a row, and that streak got broken. Dave Steele in the 67, and no, let's back up. Let's go to the Hornets. Hornet feature. Interesting race. Tim Hedges. And the 14T. Again, going what I just said a few minutes ago about Anissa Curtis, hands down the most aggressive we've seen Tim this year was Saturday night. And I think he knew that if someone was going to beat the number 7S, you're going to have to give it everything you got. And there was just, I mean, the way he was driving that corner on the entry, Dylan Sauer in the 7S, you got to beat him into the turn. If you don't beat him into the turn, he's going to get up under you, and he's going to drive away from you like he did last week. You know, the last 4 races. He likes to get that entry just a little higher than everybody else, shoot to the bottom, use that low line, gets that left side up on the berm. And these are front-wheel drive cars we're talking about, right? These are front-wheel drive cars. And Tim he held it to the floor, just held it all the way down. And that thing would push like a boat getting in, and all of a sudden would grab and just exit like a rocket.
You know, it looked like the back end would be hanging out
like a
I think he's
using the handbrake in there a little bit. I think he's using that e-brake.
I don't know what he's doing, but it's getting that car sideways and making it shoot down across the apex.
I think there's a couple guys out there that are good enough to do that, and we've seen it a couple times. They reach down and grab that e-brake and get that back end out. And
you know, with the Hornets, I'm used to watching Hornets. They all get single file and they just follow each other. These guys down there,
there's no
follow.
Oregon, no,
they fight it out.
There's no follow the leader with those cars on that track.
Exciting. I mean,
yeah.
A guy, he turns halfway over, gets back on his wheel, and makes it all the way back up to 5th place.
Yep.
I mean, it's just incredible.
I have to agree with you there.
Yeah.
You know, I actually like videoing them.
They're
you
fun.
Don't fall asleep just because they're all single file. No, there's always something happening.
But you know,
Yes.
I've watched Hornet races and almost fall asleep.
Not at Southern Oregon, huh?
You hear them come by and go.
You're right. So while we're talking about what you're talking about right now, the point you're making, okay, let's talk about the Hornets and how exciting things got. Do you guys remember what the leader had to do? I don't know how many laps in. Right around the halfway point, lap 12, 13, 14. Tim Hedges in traffic, gets bumped, gets stuck down on the infield. He's completely off the racetrack, guys. He's down in the infield, and what did he do? He kept the hammer to the floor, came out of turn 4, down the straightaway. Like, he was actually on the infield down the straightaway.
Come out in 3rd place.
No, he was the leader.
Yep,
and he kept
the lead.
Oh, I thought he came out in 3rd.
I think he kept the lead.
No,
yeah.
He kept the lead when there was 4 cars there that could have came out with the lead, and O'Hedge just says, not tonight, man. This is my night. And he, I don't know how it was, and this is going to be a very big compliment to this guy, but when I watched that, the first thing that went through my mind was what? The pass in the grass, Dale Earnhardt at Daytona, right? I mean, that's exactly what it reminded me of.
That's why they put the yellow line down there for him
that's
on purpose.
Right. That's right, but that's what it reminded me of. My mind instantly went right there when him and Bill Elliott were duking it out. Well, Tim Hedges said, you know what? Dale can do it. Why not? And he just kept her to the floor and came out in the lead. He could have actually went back 4th or 5th place in that whole mess. Dylan Sauer could have went to the front and had win number 5.
Well, that was the only dust I actually seen that night.
That was
when he came off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Normally the hornets are kind of like bees going looking for a flower, but these guys, they are true hornets. They're like everywhere. They do everything they have to get back up.
They do.
Where they
Well,
lose.
look at the start of the race.
It's insane. I think.
I wish I had a camera.
Where did Dylan Sauer start? The 7S car. Do you guys remember where he started?
Nope.
11th. He started deep in the field.
drove it.
Wow.
Okay. Finished second. But here's the thing about that 7S car. From 11th to 3rd in 5 laps. I mean, he was wheeling. He was getting it done. It's be interesting to see what happens this Saturday night.
Well, in the Hornets here lately, it's been hedges and hedges.
Hedges and hedges. And
I want to say
and
Benson and hedges and hedges.
Nelson and Nelson. and, I
Nelson
mean, the
and
Nelson
Nelson.
gang, you don't count those guys out. I mean, it sounds when you're going through the lineup under caution, it sounds like you're announcing a law firm.
Yeah. Hedges and hedges and Nelson and Nelson.
We've got 2 hedges I'm talking Hornets.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got 2 hedges, 2 Nelsons, 2 Sours, and 2 Tritchlers.
Oh my goodness.
That's 8 of the cars that are there. There's at least 2 members from the each family. In
Look
that.
at it this way: as an announcer, you can only be wrong 1 out of 4 times. Just call hedges. Hedges in the lead.
Hedges your leader, followed by Nelson and Tritchler. I mean,
And Sauer's bringing up the back.
here comes Sauer. Yeah, I mean, in a sense,
Makes his job easy.
Those guys are a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, they are. 3 Nelsons in the Hornets. Thank you, Ryan.
Yep.
So
was
what
gonna
I've
say
established
something.
so far right now is see how excited Corey is. You know how he feels about sprint cars.
Mm-hmm.
But to have that much passion and excitement over the sprint car action that we've been seeing, then the
And the late
Hornets
models.
and the late models.
You know what it is?
And
when
then
you
he
have
gets-
second slower
then he
than
gets-
sprint cars.
Yeah, and then he gets fired up with the Hornet race.
Well,
for God's
well,
sake.
here's the thing, and I've said this. I've said this a couple times, and I really it goes back to this. Okay, I mean, I love fast cars. We all love fast cars. We're racers. That's what we do. Okay.
We like good racing, period.
It doesn't matter what division it
No.
is. But when you get on a track, when I say it's constructed, I'm talking about the way that track is built, the way it's laid out, the size, the shape, the banking on this place. You're going to have good racing. And I'm telling you right now, I'm watching some of the best racing I've seen in a long time this year. And it has been, I mean, if you can't get excited watching these cars on that track do what they do, you don't have a heartbeat. You don't. I mean, listen to the crowd on Saturday nights in Southern Oregon. These guys get into it. This
Yeah, they
it's
do.
as fun. The whole atmosphere it's phenomenal. But what these guys are doing on the racetrack, 3 and 4 wide, I mean, that's what you want to see from the grandstands.
And
Hey,
when
it
you
almost-
can hear the crowd
Yeah.
from the pits during a late model
Yeah.
or
You can.
during a sprint car
Well,
race.
it gets aggressive up there in the stands too. There's I think, geez, these guys in the pits. No, it was fun. It was
It's-
it was a good night, and I just it started out as a good night. We got the crowd going. Dave got the crowd going right off the bat. We honored our veterans.
And see,
Let me say something about that.
Yeah,
it was Veterans Night.
yes it was.
To see what the fans did
Yep.
when Dave drove his truck on that track, it gave me goosebumps.
Okay, stop right there. Let me jump in because we're getting ready to go racing, right? I said, how much time do we have?
Oh, this is funny.
Sandy, she says, we've got 8 minutes till opening ceremonies. I said, run to the restroom. I'll be right back. So I run to the restroom, right? Do my thing. I come out. The place is dead silent. And as I come out of the restroom, place is dead silent. Not a sound to be heard.
They was watching the restroom,
And every single person,
waiting for you to come out.
every single person is standing up. And I thought to myself,
Wait a
what the
second.
hell is going on? I can't see anything yet. I got a big crowd of people in front of me, so I'm trying to get to the tower to grab the mic, start opening
He was
ceremonies.
running to the tower.
Yeah.
I finally get to where I can see the track, through the crowd of people, And what do I see on the front stretch? There's Dave in the Northwest Trucking Academy semi with our nation's colors and the POW flag.
And everybody's clapping and
Nobody said a single word, and everybody immediately stood up.
yep, they did.
Yeah, I was just amazed. I just pulled up there and stopped, and everybody stood up, and I'm thinking, are they playing the national anthem? Because I didn't hear anything.
It
and
gives me chills. It gives me
it was,
chills when
it
stuff
was
like that
just
happens. To
incredible.
see that kind of patriotic behavior,
Well, and then Corey, off the cuff, called all the veterans down, not just to stand up, but to the front. And
Yep.
you went there as well,
Yes,
Ed,
I did.
being a veteran. And that was cool.
I had chill bumps.
Yes.
I did
I had
the-
tears in my eyes after he read what
I
he
had
did.
to stop once and collect myself reading what I wrote.
That was very, very touching.
That was fun.
And I love when he does those off-the-wall things that he doesn't think about. It's not planned out. It's just something that happens. And the crowd loved it.
Well, I was, later on in the show, after it started, I spoke to the veterans. And what really just absolutely made me feel so good is I told them, I said, okay, everybody in the stands, we've already recognized the veterans. But if you're a veteran, again, raise your hand. And they did. They raised their hands. And I said, being a veteran, I understand where these guys come from. I served. I did what they did. I sacrificed like they did. And down about, maybe 20, 30 yards down on the right, down on the bottom, there's a big guy. Looked like he was a Marine. God, I don't know. He stood up, pumped his heart 2 times, and pointed at me. And, man, that just, look at that.
yeah.
Wow. How neat.
That's love between you and your brother,
Right, absolutely.
Because every veteran, as far as I'm concerned, is my brother.
Well, and that's how we feel about the racing family.
Yeah.
It's
the same way.
It's the same thing. Yeah, absolutely. That was a neat deal, honoring the veterans the way we did.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, every one of those drivers found one heck of a show.
Yeah, they did. Veterans got in free.
They did.
Yep.
Veterans got in free,
Yep.
which is a good thing.
We had a great 50-50. I want to talk about the Bobby O's Pizza mini stocks. Do you remember what lap it was when McLeod and Dylan Irvin got together and Irvin went up on his side?
It was early on, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
You remember, Nina? What lap was it? No? Lap 1.
First lap.
It
that
was the
lap 1?
first
Yeah.
lap. First lap, Mike McLeod and the 3 got together with Irvin. I didn't see that.
into the second, or that was the beginning of, or the
thought
end
it
of
was
the
into
first?
No, it was on. Or they hadn't completed the first lap. We went to a full restart.
Oh,
See, but here's the thing about it. I'm watching up front. We're talking about, you tend to watch the crowd, okay? We got a lot of guys bumping in. You got Ashton Hedges, Dave Steele. You got all these guys in there. There's so many. Hunter Magnan in that 33. You got Andrew Hall in that 007. McLeod. You got all these guys that you're trying to watch in that first lap. And like we said, these mini stocks and Hornets, everybody's kind of doing their thing. You don't know what's going to happen on the first lap. I'm watching the leaders at a turn 4. They get to the stripe, and just before the stripe, Tracy Millard drops the yellow. So, what's that for? I pull my mic away. I'm looking around like, what's that for? Where, from my perspective, where I was in the tower, and where Dylan Irving was up on his driver's door, I could barely see him.
I got that on. I took pictures of that.
Yeah.
I just haven't got to it yet.
Now I'm looking around the track. I'm trying to figure, is there debris? And then as I'm scanning the backstretch, well, that's out of place.
You see these wheels.
What's
the
he
bottom
doing?
of the car.
I didn't see the incident happen. Again, I understand it was just a racing deal. A couple guys, Racing Precision, got together at a bad part of the track, and off he goes and lands on his side.
Funny thing is, I'm standing over at Guglielmani pit because he had just got off from the heat race.
Right.
His car was damaged. I'm assessing it, and I watch his crew go, whoa! And they're looking straight over at turn 3, and as I turn, I see this car coming up to rest on its side. Big old number 11.
Yeah. Yeah. That was definitely.
And the Moxie Cam took wings and flew right over the top.
Yep, got right over the top of that as the safety crew got there and kind of watched over that deal. And
Nina had the craziest spot.
She did.
She's standing right behind.
Yeah.
Everybody
light.
kept telling me I'm crazy standing where I was standing, but
She was 10 feet away from that car.
Yeah. Well, there's something about Nina you guys need to know. She's in the Dane Bramage Club. Okay, it's not brain damage.